it down, but share it for me.
Hello, everyone. This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Play Network. On today, I have Chris Brown, Jay McLovin, and the guest that was on Thursday's show last week, Louis Chinor.
Yes.
How you guys doing, everybody?
All right.
What's up? It's your boy JJ McLevin with the spice and the flavor, bringing it to you tonight.
What's
How
up?
about them Titans and them Bills? I told you, Titans are underrated. Nobody been in practice, and yet they win in the game.
We both said it, man. There's the man. Yeah, we knew.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, them Titans are for real, man.
Which we'll talk more about that later. But I just want to let everyone know that today's show, All Sports All Plays Real Talk, is brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi's Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. All products are $5 special offer. For ASAP Sports viewers, free matching earrings by necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com. The promo code is 160920. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Normally we would talk about the NBA on the show as our first subject, but I'm gonna turn things around and I'm gonna talk about the Major League Baseball. And right now we have 4 teams that are still left: the Atlanta Braves versus the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Houston Astros. Who do you have winning the whole thing? And I'm going to go first. And I've been saying this ever since their series against Boston. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Rays. And I have been saying this for most of this season so far. Chris?
I have the Atlanta Braves.
Who? So you don't think they're going to beat the Dodgers? I say that, and they're losing right now. Well, last I checked, they were down, trailing, and they lost game. They won game 1. So.
Well, my phone said the Braves up 7-0. Unless my phone is lying to me. Am I getting told?
Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to say is they're beating the Dodgers in game 2, and then they won game 1.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So you still have that upset?
I said the Braves.
Okay.
Braves.
Louis?
Well, I know you got to think I'm an idiot because I originally had the Dodgers, but since they're getting beat up all the time, I may have to change it. And I think I have to go with the Rays. I mean, they're doing a number on it. So I may have to stick with that. Even though that in the American League Series, I'm kind of torn between the team that beat the Yankees, which is my team, and you got the Astros, who I call the cheaters. So I'm kind of torn up.
Yeah, you would call them that. Shut up, Louis.
It's smart that you said that because he's wearing that cap.
Yes, we're past that. Get past the cheating crap. We done swept the dang Twins. The A's, who you say called us cheaters because Fires is an idiot and he violated almost all the unwritten rules in baseball because you don't leave out the clubhouse. And we beat them. Yeah. You say what? You think that we're getting manhandled by the Rays? We didn't get manhandled. They what? 2-1 first game. Right?
Right.
4-2 or 4-1? What was the second game? We're not getting manhandled. They got a couple close games on us. Hey, but this is baseball. This ain't football. This ain't basketball. This is baseball. And baseball, all you got to do is very, very easy to come back. Boston did it against the Rays, against the Yankees when they went down 0-3. So it's crazy for you to say and sit there and say they're cheaters when they're clearly doing everything the right way and they're still in the ALCS for the 4th year in a row. So shut your mouth.
Thank you, Stephen A. Smith.
So I'm assuming, Jay, you probably have the Houston Astros.
Show him the hat, Jay.
Yeah, we ain't done. Man, it's only 2 games. It's the best of 7. Come on.
Show them the hat, Jay. Make sure they understand what team you represent.
Hey, it's right there, baby.
Uh-huh.
All day.
Okay,
All
okay.
day, baby. H-Town. Lewis, you ain't know nothing about it.
That's
So,
oh boy, it's gonna be a fun show. I can tell.
He said, what? Speak up, Lewis. I can't hear you.
It's gonna be a fun show. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, Lewis. We always have fun on here. Listen, you got to come. He has some thick skin when you come on this show now.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
But he's gonna be all right. We're gonna break him in. He's gonna be okay. Let's go. What's the first topic?
okay, so I bring up this whole point about I brought up this whole topic of who we got winning it all, but in how many games and who do you think is going to lose the World Series? I'm going to give this to Lewis.
Okay. I am not thinking a sweep. I mean, that's crazy. You come this far, and it's very impossible to sweep a series. So I'm still gonna say 6 games.
Against who?
Oh, I'm still gonna say the Dodgers over the Braves in 6 games. You can call me crazy all you want, but I think maybe they can do it.
Jay?
Well, seeing as how Clayton Kershaw has been scratched and pretty much done for the series, you're going to scratch the Dodgers out of it. It's going to be Atlanta. That's a guaranteed fact. It's a guaranteed fact. I'm just telling you right now. It's a guaranteed fact. It's going to be Atlanta because Kershaw is not even part of the team right now. The man is scratched. So now they got to rely on what else they got. Nah, it's going to be Atlanta. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Atlanta and Houston. Hot take. Write that down. Lewis, write this down, Lewis. Write it down. Go get some pen and paper. Write this down. Houston, Atlanta. And I do think it's going to go 7 games because there's some good pitching matchups there. So I'm going Houston, Atlanta, 7 games. Write it down so we can remember it when it's next go around.
Okay. That's as great as it is. I won't deny it.
So, Chris?
I never thought this day would come, ladies and gentlemen. But I actually agree with everything Jay McLovin said, man. I don't know how. He just said the right things for the first time. I don't know why you rubbing your head. The man made some great points. So, you know, Chris Brown and Jay McLovin, I feel like we the only guys that bring the stats and effects most of the time. And so I got to give it to my guy, Jay McLovin. He said everything I had to say. So I'm going with the Chief right there.
My boy Blue.
So, I keep saying this on the show. It's not over until it's over. And I'm referring to the Dodgers here. I have the Dodgers losing the World Series.
Hold on.
I think they're going to pull that comeback against the Braves.
Hold on.
And I think they're going to lose against Tampa Bay Rays in 6. And I agree with Lewis on there.
Nate, I understand what your point. So I just want to correct you on your thing where you say on this show, you never say it's over until it's over. You counted out your own Denver Nuggets team where they were down 3-1.
Several times.
So don't say that. Don't say that.
Several times.
Nate.
It was not just Denver versus Lakers. I was talking about Dallas Stars versus the
I'm saying Denver
Tampa
and the
Bay
Clippers.
Lightning, and I was talking about what?
I'm just saying when your team was down 3-1,
a lot of things.
I know. Well, when your team was down 3-1, no, you said it was over. You didn't say the Nuggets had a chance to come back on this show. You said that the Nuggets are going to lose. You didn't say it's over until it's over. You said, "Oh, it's over. The Clippers are winning." I just had to correct you right there, my friend. It happens.
No, that was Freddie.
That was you, Nate.
It wouldn't surprise me. No, it was Freddie.
Jay,
I said it wouldn't surprise me if the Nuggets
I done heard Nate change his platform so many times. I can't keep up with it all. I was writing it down at one point, and then I ran out of ink, so I don't know anymore.
I'm gonna bow out, Nate. I'm gonna just respectfully disagree with you in the best way possible.
Anyway, so the next topic is, where does Jimmy Butler rank on your top 5 rank on your top player in the NBA list. I'm going to give this one to Jay first.
Jimmy Butler. I did a lot of thinking about this one. Man, there's so many good players, man. And Jimmy Butler is certainly a good player. But I got him ranked 8 out of 10. 8 in the top 10. I got him in the top 10, but ranked 8. I pretty much put Braun. Everybody's going to put Braun. Braun was first. I put Luka second. I got Kawhi third. Steph Curry. Oh, not Curry. Excuse me, not Curry. KD, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Harden, and then Butler. So I got it right now. I got Butler ranked 8.
Chris?
I know for sure he's in my top 8 or 9. I have to sit down and break down that list, but I will say he definitely, jumped up my list. He's outside of the top 10 going into the season. There's no disrespect to Jimmy Butler because everybody knows how disappointed I was when him and my Sixers left out because I know how important and how great he is and how much of a guy that he is that you need on your team. And what I say is what he showed in the playoffs and especially in the finals is that you're crazy if you don't have this guy in your top 10. And who cares about stats? Because stats shown, if you know anything, stats doesn't always guarantee victory. Stats doesn't always guarantee your team is a contender. What shows is what you do on the court. And what he does is play winning basketball on both ends of the court. So by that, Jimmy Butler is definitely in my top 10. I have to sit there and break it down, but I was thinking, is he top 5? But he just isn't there yet.
No, he's not there yet. But he's on his way, though. If he's this method.
Yes, that, and I wouldn't be mad if anybody actually put him in their top 5 because what he showed, especially in the bubble, how much value he brings to a team. But for me, he's just, I want to say closer to 8 and 9 in my top 10.
Oh, by the way, score update: Dodgers. 7-0 Atlanta. Dodgers are getting blown out. And that's why I'm telling you, Nate, just be prepared for Atlanta to take that one. Anyway, continue, Mission.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Lewis, what's your...
Okay, I'll agree that Butler, he's not a superstar caliber, but, I won't deny he is a great player. I mean, he really is a great player. Despite the fact he's, blaming himself for not winning a championship this year, which you shouldn't do. I mean, it's not your fault. When you said you made a promise to Pat Riley, and the coach like, no, you don't blame yourself for that. He's in the top 10. Believe me, he is there, and it's gonna get better as his career goes on. I mean, you can't deny LeBron, you can't deny AD, Luka, Harden, of course. Harden is a dynamite player. He's got some work to do, but he is a great player, and I think within the next 2 years he's gonna reach superstar status. So I have him just ranked just outside the top 5. I would say it's 6. I didn't think, oh, you're being way too generous. No, I see. I'm being truthful here. I think he's just outside the top 5, and within the next 2 years he'll be in the top 5.
Yeah, well, I think, every great player holds himself to a standard that if they get to the finals and they didn't win, they're going to put it on themselves. But by them doing that, it's just giving them fuel, giving them fuel to say, okay, I didn't win last year. I could have did better, so I'm going to go there again next year and do better. That's all. Every great player puts it on themselves, honestly. You're not a winner if you don't, lose a game in your mind. You say, what could I have done better to win this game? Every great player is going to – Every player should do that in general. I don't even want to say great. If you lose it, if you're in a series and you lose, in the back of your mind, you should say, okay, what could I have done better for my team to be more successful? So I'm glad Jimmy Butler has that mindset, and I can't wait to see how he's going to come out and dominate the game next year.
Okay, so the next topic is, are the Lakers the most historic franchise in all of sports? I'm going to give this one to Lewis first.
Now, are we talking sports in general or just the NBA?
The sports, Lewis.
All sports.
I think the Yankees have something to say about that. Who's the most historic franchise in all sports? Because the Yankees have won 27 world titles. Thank you very much. Lakers are up there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they've won 17. They're second. Only the Yankees. So I think they have a place in sports history, but to say that they are the ultimate in sports history, no, that honor does belong to the Yankees. but I am a huge Laker fan. I mean, they're second only to the Yankees. And if Boston has anything to say about that, I don't care.
It ain't Boston. I'll tell you that.
Good.
It's not Boston.
I hate the Celtics.
I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna say I'm not going off the number of World Series wins or NFL Super Bowl trophies or championship rings, World Series. I'm not going by that. I'm going off of what happened in their team's history. So I'm gonna say the Dodgers is the most historic team in all the sports because of what happened in Jackie Robinson's era.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, real quick, just a little correction. So Kershaw, from what Ace is saying, Kershaw is actually they're saying he's going to pitch game 4. Now, if he pitches game 4, great. But even if he pitches game 4, will it be 100%? Who knows? I'm still going with the Braves, but I hope he does pitch because I like to see the Dodgers be on all levels. But even if he does pitch, will the guy be 100%? 100%? If you have 100% of anything, I mean, even if he's 70, 80%, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I still got the Braves taking it. But I just want to correct that. So far, Ace is saying that he will be pitching game 4, so we'll see what happens there. Historic franchises, come on, man. Even if we were talking about the NBA, just the NBA alone, you guys got to understand the Lakers just tied the Celtics. Just tied them. So we can't say they're the most historic because they just got even with the Celtics. But even with that being said, and here comes Freddie. Even with that being said, hold on. Even with that being said, I gotta go like Lewis said. The Yankees have been around since forever, the father of time, and they've been doing it forever. And they've had so many famous people and stuff come through there. It's ridiculous and redonkulous. I mean, these guys are just amazing. Yankees are still always going to be, for right now, the most historic franchise ever. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. But on the basketball side, you know, I'm going to get overall, but I just want to say something about, you know, what Jay said. He's right. The Lakers did just tie. But when I think about it, I say the Lakers have, you know, 6 in the past 20. They won, you know, the most recent championships. I'm not taking nothing away from Bill Russell and them and how they completely dominated their era. But if you look at, you know, from 1980 until after, the Lakers dominated the NBA. But with that being said, that they're neck and neck. As somebody said, the Celtics, you know, they have their argument. Somebody said the Lakers, they have their argument. But the greatest sports franchise is obviously the Yankees. I don't think anybody can dispute that. How famous they were, what they did in sports. I love the Lakers. I love the NBA. No, I don't love the Lakers. I take that back. I love the NBA. But the Yankees are by far the most historic franchise in all sports.
I think what he meant to say was I love LeBron, but
I didn't mean to say that either.
He said I wouldn't even go with the LeBron issue.
I didn't mean to say that. It's the Yankees, man. The Yankees been around, like Jay said, for forever. You know, they're historic, and it's going to stay that way probably for all the time.
Yep.
What's up,
Freddie?
What's up with it, gentlemen? It's good to be back on the show. You know, there's a lot of things that happened while I was away from the show. You know, it started Sunday night, but I'm not going to get into that. You know,
we don't want to hear that.
It was a beautiful moment.
If it's not on our topics list, it can't be discussed. You missed that episode. You should have chimed in.
Hey, well, it was a beautiful
on a strict schedule, Mr. Freddie. I know you're the CEO, but we're on a strict schedule right now.
Well, it was a beautiful moment, I must add. All right, with that being said, Nate, the question was, what's the most historical franchise?
In all sports.
Of all sports. Whoa, man, that's a really tough question right there because, I mean, there's a lot of historical franchise. You have like you guys said, the Yankees, what they was able to accomplish in their time, like Chris said, with all the famous baseball players that they had, movies and all that good stuff. And it is in New York, so I mean, one of the biggest markets of sports, you know, New York, Cali, and all that good stuff. And then I hate to say it, you have the Cowboys of old, not this Cowboys, the Cowboys of old. Because
I gotta give it to him. I mean, that's true though. I mean, it is right.
You have to give them their props. You know, what they have accomplished through their time is unbelievable. Then you have Boston, like Chris said, won 17 championships. And one thing to think about Boston and the Lakers, I might be a little bit off on these numbers, but I'm pretty close to it. They've won like 11 past the modern day era, and only won
When
like
we say
5
historic, I mean you got to go all the way back to the
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
modern
so
era.
it all counts.
Okay, I
It
got
all
you. I got you.
counts.
I got you. Well, okay. Well, they tied with 17-17. Me personally,
You guys just got into the conversation. The Boston was actually a truly historic franchise. You guys just caught up to them. So, I mean, come on. It's like you're a little premature on trying to bring the historical card out when the Celtics have been there for a long period of time.
Well,
I would tell you about
Hey,
Red
are the Rockets
Auerbach,
in there?
Freddie, but I don't know if you even know who Red Auerbach is.
Are
Jay
the Rockets in
McLovin.
there?
Jay McLovin. I will say the Lakers are more historical than the Boston Celtics for one reason. For one reason, the Lakers have been more relevant of late.
It's historic. That means all time. We're not talking about of late. We said the Yankees. We're talking about the Yankees been around for forever. We're taking away everything. I understand that. I even said that the Lakers won the more championships in the past 20 years. Since the 80s, the Lakers dominated the NBA. But we're not talking about from 1980s to 2020, Freddie. We're talking about of all time, of all sports.
Yeah.
So, like,
Hey,
Freddie, aren't you supposed to be at the tables right now?
yeah,
Isn't there a
Freddie came
people
in
now
to
trying
give his
get the
delusional
big
answer.
guys?
I told everybody Freddie is the delusional fan. He came to give his delusional answer. Just didn't even answer the question. We said of all time.
Go with
He's
a question
talking
about
about
delusional
recently.
fans. I want Freddie's picture all across this thing.
We talking about historic, and he's talking about right now.
Hey,
He just messed up the whole question.
Now his screen is pitch black.
That's
That was
okay.
that was a good sign. That was a good sign.
I'm back. Don't worry, Jay McLovin. As of
I
Thursday,
think
I'm
he's coming
officially back.
Freddie, you're messing up the feng shui. You're messing up the order of production, Freddie. You
Man, we
came in
gonna
here
bring the heat.
and you
There he
gave the delusional answer and you messed everything up, Freddie.
Hey, I'm about to hop off real quick, but this time I will not end this live. I promise you that.
Because he messed up the last time he was on here and messed the show up. Just came in here ruining
That's
everything.
right.
It's delusional
Let's
fan
go.
stuff.
Hey, the great news we left it on a cliffhanger.
It wasn't no cliffhanger. We know
Anyway.
Freddie's delusional. Let's move
He is
on to the
very
next
delusional.
topic.
That's okay.
Anyway, the next topic is, so what team needs to be the most aggressive in free agency?
Oh.
Oof, that's tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this to Chris because I need to think on it.
Yeah, because I got y'all. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Every team needs the easy answer is every team needs to be aggressive in free agency because no team is great.
Yeah.
But when I look at contending teams, and these are teams that if they get the right pieces, they're going to be 20 times better. First, the Bucks. I keep saying they need a true point guard on their team. They need to go out, be aggressive, and go get Chris Paul. I know it's not free agency. They're not signing and they're trading for him. I've been saying this forever. They need to go get a Chris Paul, and in my opinion, they need to fire their coach. Then I have the Sixers. We came on, we got Doc Rivers. We know Al Horford is no longer going to be here, so we need to parlay that into getting a Buddy Hield, get us somebody that else can get us 18 to 22 points a night, and that's shooting 39-40% from the three-point line. Also, maybe get some more role players. Then I say the Clippers. The Clippers, they need pieces. They need a true point guard on their team. They need a paint defender on their team. They have the wings, yes, but it showed in the playoffs what they were lacking. It showed bad. That team's a fraud. Then I say the Heat. We saw the Heat get to the championship, but they have a lot of cap space. A lot of players are going to say, I want to play for that organization. Now, whether if they're going to be able to take that, that's the question, because the Heat organization is like no organization in the NBA. But that's why they're consistently great. But if the Heat, they're aggressive, they can get some key pieces and, be dominating the East again. And I say the Mavericks. The Mavericks are right there, to me. I'm going to talk about what they need later. But I say if they're aggressive, they're really going to be a scary team with Luka, with Tim Hardaway Jr., with Kristaps Porzingis. I've been saying this for a while. If Kristaps Porzingis didn't tear his meniscus against the Clippers, they possibly could have won that. Last I have the Lakers. Listen, we saw the Lakers get to the championship, but they have a lot of holes in their roster. And they have a lot of free agents, going on to next year, a lot of key players that have player options going on to next year. So they need to pick out what players they want to keep and go and add, some new players. Also, I want to say the Rockets, because me and McLovin know the Rockets is a center away from being a contended team again. Literally, because I love the duo with James Harden and Russell, but I don't love it without a big man. But I just want to say a couple more things. Giannis, I know he's not a free agent, but I say this every time. Him to the Mavericks would be the scariest thing in the NBA, and they would dominate the league for now to the next 15 years. Then Rajon Rondo, he's on a player option deal. There's a lot of teams that need a true point guard, especially one to show up in the playoffs. I look at Milwaukee. What Rondo did for LA, if he could do that for Milwaukee, if he can slow down the game, if he could put the players in the right spaces, if he can, take pressure off Chris Middleton, because he's not a guy that needs to be a playmaker. He needs to look more towards scoring. Same thing with Giannis. If he can slow the game down, be a defensive anchor, and also, know how to pick his spots better than Eric Bledsoe, because Eric Bledsoe never shows up in playoffs. I feel like, the Bucks can use him. Also, the Clippers. The Clippers need a true point guard. Pat Beverly is not a true point guard. They didn't have a true point guard that can run the offense, that can put players in the best position, that can defend, that can do all those things. Rajon Rondo still brings that to the game. I hope he stays with the Lakers, though, because I would like to see them run it back, because he was a great piece and then winning the championship. But there are a lot of contending teams that can use somebody like Rajon Rondo.
They could.
Before we give this to the next person, I want to give an update real quick. The Atlanta Braves are currently winning 7-3. I don't think they're going to win this game. I don't even think it's going to be the next game. I think it's going to be a comeback series, 4-3.
But you forgot the most important one. Right now, the Astros are up 1-0 with the man on first in the second inning, 1 out.
Oh, we all know that.
Anyway, as we move on, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to run with this one. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, Chris Paul is a hot commodity right now for a lot of teams. And I'm on Chris Paul's tip right now, because right now, like you said, the Clippers are just a good leader and point guard away from it, and the second coming of Chris Paul to the Clippers wouldn't be a bad idea, given the roster that they currently have, and hopefully with the coaching staff. And I don't know who they're going to get to fill in their coach, but I'm kind of curious to see where that goes. I think Tyronn Lue is going to wind up signing with the Rockets, even though I really don't like that signing. I'd much rather have. I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad signing. You know me, man. I'm a Mark Jackson guy, and
we all want Mark Jackson, man. But I don't think he's going to be back in the league. I think Van Gundy's interviewing for some spots, though. I don't know if you saw that. We were talking about that off air. Van Gundy was interviewing for some coaching jobs, especially in New Orleans.
Yeah, I can see maybe Van Gundy might do well in Clipperland too, though. If we get, we had Van Gundy for a hot minute back in 2007, or we let him go actually in 2007, and he didn't do bad for the Rockets. I just don't think that's the right guy for us. I think Tyronn Lue, I think he speaks more James Harden language. I think he speaks more Russell Westbrook language. And you got to have that. You got to be able to have that chemistry between your coaching staff and your players. And I just think he's a better fit. That's why I like Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson would have been the perfect fit. Plus, the way that he drafts and the way that he builds his team,
top tier.
Yeah. Bro, I want that so bad. But
top tier.
Anyway, as I regress, and I agree with you, right? I think we need, even if we get Tyronn Lue, okay, bring in Tyronn Lue, we need to figure out how to put either a trade package together or whatever we can do to see if we can get a center, either through the draft or through free agency. And I don't even know if we have any draft picks. I haven't even been paying attention to that. I know we gave a bunch of picks up earlier, but
y'all don't have any.
Yeah, I didn't think we did. There. But so they're gonna have to look to free agency. I don't know who can they get free agency. I don't know. Hopefully. They can't really bring in Giannis. Giannis is going to try to command way too much money, and Fertitta's not going to pay it. So I don't know where they're going to get this big man from, but that's what the Rockets need. I mean, they're just, and if they got to package Russell Westbrook and send him off, and I hate to say that, but if they had to do that to bring in a big man, we need a big man more than I need Russell Westbrook. I just hate to say that, but that's just what it is. To compete with the Lakers, small ball doesn't work, so we got to have a big man. So. And Chris Paul could be good at at Milwaukee as well, right? So because he could team up with Giannis, be that veteran leadership. So Milwaukee and the Clippers both need Chris Paul.
You said something you didn't mean to say it, but I just thought about it, and I would love that fit him in Miami. I know you didn't mean to say that.
Miami.
Oh my God! Because listen, Chris Paul to me, he might be the. I don't care. He might be the top guy.
Just needs another big man. Honestly,
yeah, I know.
They're okay with what they have. They just need another big man to take some of the pressure off Adebayo. If they would have had another big man in there, and they had two big men to match up with the with the height and versatility of the Lakers, that would have been a much different series.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that thought of Chris Paul,
but to your point though, Chris, you made a good point. Every team should be aggressive in free agency. Yes. The Lakers are probably the only ones that really don't have.
No, they have to because
they have a good team.
All their players are up almost all their good key role players are player option free agents right now, so they have to be aggressive.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm just saying, all they have to do is go with just secure their in-house, free agents, and they're going to be fine. And I don't see too many people wanting to leave LeBron and AD.
I know, I don't either, but they got to fill that.
They're all happy right where they are. I mean, so I don't see it being a hard thing for them to re-sign these guys. I don't. Then maybe a few they might want to let go. To be honest with you, Danny Green being the first one.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. They love KCP. Avery Bradley's up. Rondo's up. Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee.
Oh,
AD,
yeah. Hey, Avery Bradley's going to be back. We didn't even see him because wasn't he injured? He was injured, correct?
No, he chose to opt out for
that's right,
because
of COVID.
Yeah, for family reasons. So
yeah, that's even another piece that they didn't have. That's going to be wild.
Yes. Because I think he's a better shooter and has a little bit more experience and maybe a little bit better on defense than Caruso. But depending on how the money works, Caruso might, take but I don't see Caruso starting. So it's just going to be nice to see what LA is going to do. I think they might try to put together a package to get a Bradley Beal, maybe. Who knows? Listen,
I think it's going to take a lot for them to get Bradley Beal because Washington's going to want to command a lot for him.
And I hope Washington doesn't give up a Brad. I don't mean to get off topic, but I love that backcourt. I think, when healthy, him and John Wall are definitely a top 3 backcourt. And they do right in the draft. They're gonna be at least a top 7, top 6.
Yeah, and we'll get more. I think the draft is one of the topics.
Yeah. So I'll get into that.
Touch that, but I'm pretty sure Lewis got something to say. Come on, Big Lou.
Yeah. The Clippers, I think, need to be more aggressive. I mean, especially you give up a 3-1 lead to Denver, and you let your guard down. They had to be more aggressive than that. Otherwise, they're never going to get past the second round. The Sixers, they need to be more aggressive. I mean, they were so inconsistent this whole regular season. I mean, spectacular at home, but on the road, just completely were pathetic. So we got to see, what Doc can bring over, from the West Coast over to here, the East Coast. At least he'll be, more close to home than he was before. I saw Doc play when he was with the Knicks and then went to the Celtics. Sorry. But he needs to work on getting his Philadelphia 76ers work. That's to show you that I know that I hate the Celtics, by the way, guys. Mm-hmm. So anyway, you'll always know of a team I don't like. Put it to you that way. Yeah, but he needs to work on the Sixers because they were so inconsistent, and that's not going to get you, anywhere they want to be in trying to win like a championship or even get past the second round for crying out loud. And
we just need shooters. That's all.
Yeah, and like you said with the Rockets too, like they're just one position away from contending. I like to see them get back to a final. I mean, because I really like James Harden, so I'm hoping that they can work that. And I'm gonna sound a little biased here because I'm from the New York area, but I gotta go with the Knicks because
that's why I don't like you. You're a freaking New Yorker.
Oh, is that why?
I got friends in New York. I'm just busting your balls.
Oh, okay. I should know better. Yeah, I mean,
the
Knicks,
New Yorker, you're supposed to have that tough ass skin. You're supposed to tell me all kinds of curse words.
No cursing.
But you can't curse here, so we can't do that.
I won't. I'll give you my word on that.
So
you can't curse on my show either. So
with the Knicks though, I'm gonna just chime in on that because the Knicks to me, they're just a terrible organization. I'm just gonna call it what it is. They had a chance to get tons of free agents and always seem to mess it up. I don't know how you mess up. They could have got LeBron. They could have got KD, Kyrie. The list goes on and on and on. Free agents they could have got. And I'm seeing that they're possibly going to go in and try to trade for Chris Paul. That's terrible. I'm gonna hold off on what I gotta say to a later topic. Go ahead, Nate.
So I'm gonna I think Chris said a great thing that was brought up.
I forgot to say the Nuggets. Sorry to cut you off. The Nuggets need to get DeMar DeRozan. I said that last show. I don't know. You talking made me think of the Nuggets. I've been saying Nuggets need to go out, get DeMar DeRozan and Jeremy Grant. If he doesn't re-sign, he's a hot commodity. Any team could use him. Sorry, Nate. You and the Nuggets, because you're a Nuggets fan. That just came to my mind. I don't know why.
I actually was going to go with 3 different teams. One of them, was being the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris said a great thing. Every NBA team needs to be aggressive in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
You said the Nuggets, so I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Nuggets on this one as well. I'm gonna go with probably the Clippers to repeat what Lewis just said. about blowing up that 3-1 lead. Utah did the same thing, so they're also to blame. So Utah and the Clippers on this one as well. I'm also going to go with Dallas Mavericks, because we bring up that point with Giannis. I said on the show once before that the only team I can think that Giannis is going to be on this upcoming season besides Dallas is probably sticking with their old team with Milwaukee. I can't see Giannis going anywhere else. And then bringing back the whole Nuggets situation. I think he needs a third big man, preferably a defender, because
they got a defender. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the Knicks. I'm sorry.
Nuggets.
You said the Knicks. My bad.
Because Nikola Jokic is lazy at defense. We saw what happened in against the Lakers, where just in the first quarter alone, I believe he fouled the Lakers 3 times in that Western Conference Finals. I believe it was not the final game, but the second to last game in Game 4. So that's my picks. And Chris, you were shaking your head at me when I was talking about Giannis. Well, why? What's your point on that?
Oh, no, I was shaking my head because I thought I was the originator of Giannis to the Mavericks. I may be wrong, but it's all good as long as you understand that my intelligence is above all. Love you guys.
So the next topic is, will the 2020 NBA draft be a disappointment? Yeah. I'm gonna go with Lewis on this one first, because he brought up the whole point about the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna go Chris, and then I go with Jay.
Well, I don't know how it could be a disappointment. I mean, we had one of the best finals. I mean, but the Knicks, of course, have been a complete disaster, over the years. But I think if we can get somebody, good from the draft, I think we're going to be doing a little bit better. We can't do much worse than what we've been doing, especially this past year. So we just got to find the right players to do it. And I don't think we'll make it to a final or anything, but at least we'll do better than the pathetic showing we've had over the last, say, 800-900 years. So we just got, that's just being sarcastic, fellas. You know what I mean? Just gotta find the right players. There's got to be some good players. We need a good defense. We need a good center as well. That's what we're missing. I mean, because basically,
you think so? You don't like Mitchell Robinson?
I don't think that's personally, but he's just not our guy. Nah. We need a good center, and we probably need a good forward too. Those are the two biggest positions that worry me about the Knicks, and have been for a long time right now. So we need to concentrate on that, and then maybe we can get a decent season for once.
Unless you had a pretty decent Porzingis. What happened to that?
Too injury prone. Don't want that.
I think this dude. I think he works in the Knicks organization. I think he's a part of the organization making the bad moves. I'm just going to go next, Nate, because I'm already talking. Jay, if you're next, I'm sorry. It's all love, brother. Listen, when you sound like you work with, you sound like you work with the Knicks. All they do is draft forwards. All they do is sign big men. What y'all need is a point guard. Y'all don't need more forwards. You have RJ Barrett. You have Knox. You have guys off the bench. At centers, you have Julius Randle, who's a very, very good player. If you don't know how good he is, man, I don't think you just watch basketball. Mitchell Robinson is a defensive center. What you're missing is that point guard. And at the number 8 pick, there's not, LaMelo to me, and just to talk about the whole entire draft, this draft is going to be amazing. First of all, the hype around the draft, especially the Warriors are going to do since they were a dynasty. Yes, I'm calling them a dynasty because they were dominant for more than 4 years. They were a little mini dynasty. Now they have the second pick. Are they going to trade for another superstar? Are they going to take Wiseman and get a big man, which I think they should do, and have the most probably complete, starting lineup in the league, point guard through center? What are the Minnesota Timberwolves going to do? They have the number 1 pick. Are they going to draft that player, whether it's LaMelo, whether it's Anthony Edwards, whether it's Obi Toppin? Are they going to trade that and try to get another superstar with the young D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns? They're a dominant duo on the offensive side, but they need, some defense over there. You look at everybody else. Chicago's in the mix. Charlotte's in the mix. You have some good players, especially some good role players, some guys that can make immediate impact from the start. You look at the Suns. They have a potentially, they have the 10th pick. They can get somebody who, in my opinion, was very slept on, Cole Anthony from North Carolina. You put him and you put Devin Booker in the backcourt, and you have one of the best backcourts, for years to come. There's so many good players in the draft. It's just people don't know the names. If you do your research, you realize you got 3-and-D guys out this world, guys that are shooting at a 42, 43% clip, 6'8", versatile, long arms that can defend. So a lot of teams, can pick up some quality role players in this draft. You look at the Boston Celtics. To me, what they were lacking, no offense to Daniel Theis, was a big man. This dude, to me, he couldn't guard Bam. Couldn't guard Joel Embiid. He got away with it against the Toronto Raptors because Marcus Gasol isn't the same player. In my opinion, you go out and you drafted Jalen Smith from Maryland. Not only is a guy that can stretch the floor, but he's a consistent double-double. He's athletic. He's young. Him with that young core that you already have, like this draft, if you do your research and you look at it and you look at what these team needs versus what's available, all these teams can, improve their roster. Even my Sixers with the number 21 pick. There's so many good guys in this draft that can, make an impact for teams immediately. But you just got to go out and look. Some people don't want to go out and look. They say, well, I don't know his name, so all I know is LaMelo. So who else is in the draft? The draft's not going to be good. You're mistaken. Now, there's some, some guys that a lot of people mock draft that are in there that shouldn't be in there. And there's some teams that's in the, lottery that are probably going to mess up, no offense, but your Knicks are probably going to mess up their pick. The Charlotte Hornets are probably going to mess up their pick. I feel like the Detroit Pistons are probably going to mess up their pick. When you look at a team like Atlanta at number 6, you got a young core there. You have, Cam Reddish, Trae Young, John Collins, the guy Hunter, another shooter, you have Clint Capella on that team. You have the number 6 pick. You can potentially get, another defender and shooter on that team, and maybe they could, actually try to make a run for the playoffs because they have some good young talent. So there's a lot of talent in this draft, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research and wait till the draft happens, and don't be surprised if some players get traded. Who knows? Giannis could get traded. Who knows? AD could get traded. We don't know. We don't know anything. I doubt AD is going to get traded.
I would literally.
He can't get traded because there's no sign of trade going to happen. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like Bradley Beal can get traded because the Wizards are in the top 10. Who knows? They have the number 9, and then if they have Bradley Beal and the number 9 pick, who knows? A team might trade away their best player for that. You never know. The draft is always exciting. The only messed up, terrible draft that I can remember is when Anthony Bennett went number 1. That draft was uneventful. This is not going to be that type of draft because so many good teams are in the lottery and so many good players are in the lottery. You just sit back, relax, and watch this show because I cannot wait.
That was a forgetful moment. Oh.
I'm on the flip, man. I don't think it's a bad draft, but I don't think it's a great draft by any means. I think it's right at about 500. You know what I'm saying? I think, when LaMelo was in discussions for being like the top pick going to Minnesota or Anthony Edwards, which I actually like Anthony Edwards a little bit more than I do LaMelo. Mm-hmm. But when those are like your big names out there and getting thrown around, to me, that tells me that this draft is a full of a lot of diamonds in the roughs. Top player.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players out there that have the potential to be great, but it's not like a star-studded draft, right? I mean, you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna have to do your research. You got, for me, a dominant rep that sticks out to me is a small forward, Sadiq Bey out of Villanova.
Yes. I'm just hyped because I love Villanova, and he was one of my underrated guys.
I think that's one of the diamonds in the rough. I think sometimes he can kind of get lulled to sleep a little bit. I don't know if he's there, but he just needs a little bit more polish, and I think to be really there. Yeah. Another one for me, like I said, is James Wyman, a center out of Memphis. I think he reminds me a lot of Rudy Gobert, which I would not be pissed if the Rockets could get him, but. We're so far. We don't even have any other draft, so there's no way we can get him unless we trade away one of our players for picks, which I wouldn't be mad at that either. But I honestly think that, probably Wiseman, Edwards, those guys are gonna go probably in the lottery. So I don't expect them to go outside the lottery.
Yeah, it's some good guys.
I think it's just gonna be that average draft. I don't think it's gonna be great or worse. I just think it's kind of be right there in the middle, where, like you said, you're gonna have to do your research, may have to do some polishing, bring development, but
and some guys have, which is great, which is good, because a lot of these guys, in all honesty, is 18, 19. So this probably is not going to be the draft. It's probably going to be
2 or 3 G League. Let them develop.
Yeah,
in the G League
it's only. But there is some guys I think that can make an immediate impact. Like you said, my guy from Villanova, it's a guy from Vanderbilt, Aaron Naismith, who's a 3-and-D type of guy. So there's guys who he's projected to go to the Pelicans. I think the teams above him can get it, but I don't want to go ahead and give my whole mock draft because that's going to take forever. I'm not going to do that to y'all. But some teams could make, especially young teams, could draft some of these young players that showed some upside. But the way people draft in the NBA, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. And, it worries me because I hope these young teams don't mess up their future, because I done seen a lot of teams do it, a.k.a. the Knicks. Sorry, I had to say that.
Hey, throw the Kings in there too.
The King. Oh, yeah, and the Kings have the Kings, they have a very good, draft spot, but they got, I don't know what's going on with the Kings.
Terrible. Honestly,
they mess up they always mess up their draft. So they have the 12th pick this year. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think, I seen a couple of mock drafts saying Cole Anthony, but I don't see the Suns passing up on a guy like him, looking long term and short term. So I don't know if they draft anybody that can't shoot and isn't I think they're probably going to get another guard, because I don't know what Darren Fox is going to do. But Nate, I know you want to talk. I'm sorry. I love the draft because I like talking about people's futures. Go ahead, Nate. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up, Nate.
So for this year's draft, I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be one of the worst drafts at all, but I'm gonna reiterate. I think it's going to be I'm fascinated about what's going to be in the first couple of picks. So I'm just pulling something up since it's lagging on my computer. Hold on.
You need me to tell you the draft order?
Yeah.
Minnesota number 1, Golden State number 2, Charlotte number 3, Chicago number 4, Cleveland number 5, Atlanta number 6, Detroit 7, New York 8, Wizards 9, Phoenix 10, San Antonio 11, which is a very sneaky right there, Sacramento 12, New Orleans 13, and Boston 14. That's the lottery. And some of those teams are, you look at the Celtics, like I said, they're a piece away. Same thing with New Orleans. San Antonio's on the up and up when it comes to young players. Phoenix, so there's some good teams that's in the lottery, and there's some good players too. Shout out to Obi Toppin. Shout out to the point guard from France, Killian Hayes. Just do your research, y'all. I'm telling you, these are going to be some good players.
Okay, so the next topic is and we're going to go forward to the NFL here. And can the Saints be a contender without Michael Thomas? I don't think they're going to be as decent in into the playoffs, but I can think they can make the playoffs without Michael Thomas. Maybe like as a wild card seed, because I think Tampa Bay is going to get. Although I will say, Michael Thomas is probably going to be coming back in next week. He was out this week not because of injury, but because of some of the off the field situations.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
Yeah, I do think they can make it to the playoffs without him. But if you're talking about being a contender, no, they're going to be sorry without him. They go against a good defense that can stop the run, and they know how to double team Kamara, and then all they got to do is worry about everybody else. Drew Brees not throwing the ball more than 15, 20 yards downfield. They go against a good defense without Michael Thomas. I feel bad for this team. The Chargers, in my opinion, should have beat them. And I understand, they want to say Herbert threw the ball behind him. But the rule of thumb is everybody knows if you ever, play football and you caught the ball, whether you were a tight end or wide receiver, the ball touches your hand. If you go for it and the ball is in both of your, because it was in both of his hands, and you drop it, I don't care if the ball was behind you, in front of you, over, top, down, low. If the ball's in your hands and you drop it, that's on you. So I know people want to put the blame on Herbert, but listen, the ball was in the dude's hands and he dropped it. Herbert played a hell of a game. They honestly should have beat the Saints, and if they would have beat the Saints, man, I would have been going off right now. But the Saints got the victory. But what I've seen is that I don't think they're going to win anything of relevance without Michael Thomas.
Lewis,
I agree. I mean, I think they'll get the wildcard spot and make the playoffs, but I don't see them going any further than that. And they should have won last week's game. I'll give you that. But they just let it slip away. So while I think they'll make a run for it, they'll come up short though to get the division. That's going to go to Tampa Bay, and I don't see them going any further than past the first round. If they do, it'll be a miracle. But I say no.
Jay.
Pretty simple, man. No Michael Thomas, no Saints. End of story.
I love that answer right there.
The next topic is
Do, 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 do.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry, I just lost it.
Man, hey man, you need some new glasses. You can't read.
I need some new glasses. My glasses always falling down my face, man.
It was laggy on the computer, and then I just okay.
Uh-oh.
So Bills and Titans, we got to talk about this game.
Yes, we do, because the way we talk about it,
Yeah.
the blowout right now.
Originally, I'm going to have to eat some of that humble pie because originally I thought the Buffalo Bills were going to destroy the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, destroy? Oh, you crazy.
Yeah. And that's because Tennessee has not practiced in weeks. Hasn't had that many practices.
That means they're energized, though, Nate. These are NFL players. You get a week off, you're more energized. You're ready to play. You're eager to get back on the field. These are professionals all these guys been in the same system. Them not practicing a week doesn't mess up their flow. It just makes them want to go out there and show their dominance even faster.
Also, there were a couple of plenty of COVID-19 cases. If there's an injury down the field and there's a COVID guy that's backing him up, then that means they're going to have to go down to their third string. That's why I was thinking it was not going to be that high for Tennessee. But I was wrong because I was wrong. Tennessee is currently winning 35-16.
No, Tennessee is 41-16.
Yeah,
Ooh,
updated. Now, Nate, let me ask you some questions. Okay, was it the Tennessee quarterback that was out?
No.
Was it the running back?
No.
The number one receiver?
Real quick, just released Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, yeah. I sent it in the group chat. You didn't see it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're straight. But
number one receiver? I don't think so, but a receiver got.
Yeah. My point is that none of their top guys were affected, and most of their top guys are playing. So I knew it was going to be a competitive game. I'm just going ahead and go second since I'm already talking. Me and Jay both acknowledge, and you two, no, you didn't lie. You said the Steelers. Me and Jay both acknowledge that the two most underrated teams were these two teams, and this game was going to show us something. And what it showed is that people need to put some respect on the Tennessee Titans name. They straight out punked the Bills, and I like the Bills. I like them. But I always respected the Titans, especially what they did last year. I have a lot of respect for them. So going into this game, I didn't know who I wanted to win. I just wanted to see a very, very good game. And I saw that the Titans, listen, call me crazy, they're one of the best teams in the AFC because what they have to me is a dominant running game. They have a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. They have weapons. They have a great offensive line. They can stop the run. They have good corners, good safeties. They have no holes in their roster. They might not have the top name guys, but they play good as a unit, and most of the guys are returning. This Tennessee Titans, what they proved to me, they're going to still be underrated, but they shouldn't be. This team should be looked at and say, hey, this team can honestly make a run for it because they improved their roster from last year, and what they bring to the game, on the offense, on the defensive side, being able to pass and run, they're going to be scary come playoff time. Just believe that. Shout out to the Titans.
Jay?
Yeah, I mean, just like Jesus Christ was resurrected from the dead, so was Ryan Tannehill's career.
Yes.
And pretty much Tennessee Titans. I mean, let's be honest, man. That dude was in purgatory. He was basically at the bottom of the heap, almost at the point of being discarded out of the NFL.
Which is sad.
And then all of a sudden he gets traded to the Titans. He gets put under Mike Vrabel, some good solid leadership, good quality offensive line, just a whole organization which is better than Miami's organization. Yes. And now this man has just rejuvenated his career. And good on him. Honestly, good on him. And now you see it, and hey, like I said, they were the most underrated team. They were underrated when they were in Houston, Texas, as the Oilers. Every time they go against the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the early 80s, and they would get denied when Billy White shoots Johnson, and they recalled that touchdown, which would have sent them to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they've been disrespected a long time. And now people are starting to take notice that, hey, the Titans, hey, these dudes ain't no punk. 41-16? No. Yeah, we back, baby. Are they back? I'm a Cowboys fan, but hey, what is. But they're back.
As long as you can show respect, because not a lot of people know how to give respect and give credit when credit is due. This team is going to, and I hope people keep doubting them and not taking them serious as they keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. When playoff time comes, and they go and get a lot of y'all favorite teams, and they beat them like they did last year. Ha. That's all I gotta say is ha.
Yeah.
So Lewis?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. But I didn't say, I really didn't see this happening. I really thought that Buffalo was gonna beat their brains out. I mean, Buffalo has a strong offense, and I didn't really expect much to Tennessee to blow Buffalo out. I thought it'd be the other way around, but this game really surprised me. I thought at least it'd be more competitive, with two undefeated teams going, but this one just blew me out of the water. Ugh.
But what blows you people out the water is the fact that really Tennessee Titans don't have a lot of big name wideouts.
But they have good quality ones though. AJ Brown and Corey Davis.
Ones, but they don't have like the big name. They're just playing good. They're playing good, solid offense.
I think though that they haven't played a game in like 3 weeks. They'd be out of sync and whatnot. That would have been disadvantage. No. I mean, that's just me. I don't know what the rest of you think. That's fine, but I just that's the way I think.
Not with professionals, not with a team that their nucleus has been there for the past couple of years in the same system. There's not like they not.
The only thing that would affect them being out 3 weeks would be their conditioning. If anything, it would be their conditioning, not necessarily their chemistry, because they've had the chemistry with Ryan Tannehill since the last year or two. But now conditioning, now that could be an issue. But I mean, 3 weeks, most pro athletes are doing their own conditioning at their house anyway. So I don't see that really being too much of a problem. 3 weeks is not a big deal. A few months or being out 6-7 months now, of course, that's a big deal.
That's a whole different ballgame.
A few weeks,
I didn't see that as a problem at all. I thought it was going to be competitive. I didn't see a blow on either side. I thought, the Tennessee Titans was going to come hungry. And I thought the Buffalo Bills were going to ready to put their, foot in the door and say, hey, I'm here. I'm one of these top teams. This game made me relook my top 10 teams in the NFL. So, shout out to the Titans.
Yeah, I definitely did too. So, the next topic is can any team go to 16-0? I'm going to start off and say that if any team can do it, it's most likely going to be Green Bay. But even then, I think they might be like a 14-2 team, maybe a 13-3. But I can't see them going 16-0. I'm going to give this one to Lewis first.
Well, at first I thought it was going to be the Chiefs, going 16-0 because they were so dominant, up until this past game. So really, I really don't see anybody going 16-0. The best I think you'll see is maybe a 13-3 at that, maybe 14-2. But any team going 16-0, no. I mean, look what happened to the Patriots back a while ago. They were 16-0 and they were sure locked in the Super Bowl, but they choked in the last minute. So I don't see it happening again. I don't see it happening again in my lifetime, to be honest with you. But I think 14-2 is going to be the tops in the league this year. And I'll say the Packers.
Jay?
Packers are a nice, comfy little pick for you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sticking with the Tennessee Titans, man. Look, this team is in for it, man. They're battle tested. They're blowing out the damn Buffalo Bills 41-16.
Yeah,
42.
Henry ain't no joke. Did you see what he put on Josh Norman when he threw him down like a rag doll, like he wasn't even there? Now, listen, Vrabel is a championship guy.
Yes, sir.
And
Shout
he
him
was
out.
resurrected. This team is meant for it. And I'm telling you right now, hey, listen, I understand the sexy pick is probably Seattle. The sexy pick is probably Green Bay. Mm-hmm. But like we said earlier, the most disrespected teams sometimes are the teams that want it the most.
Yes, sir.
They got something to prove.
And just to piggyback,
don't sleep on them Titans now.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Titans. But for me, the Steelers, out of the undefeated teams, are definitely the most unlikely to do it. So, you have the Green Bay, which is the sexy pick. They go against Tampa Bay, and that's probably going to be their hardest challenge. But they also play the Titans in Week 16. So, we're going to see which team takes the edge. If, the Titans could win, the Packers could win, but that's not all the way to 16. Seattle is somewhat of a sexy pick, but they got a lot of, division. They have most of the division games to end out the year, and they have probably the toughest division. So, the top three teams are Seattle, are Tennessee and Green Bay. And if I had to pick one, I kind of want to say Titans, man. Just but they probably have the toughest one. They have the Steelers, still the Ravens, Browns. You got to go against the Colts and the Packers. But if it's any team that I think could do it, it'd be them because they have both the offense and the defense. Seattle, I love their offense, but their defense is crap. Green Bay has both offense and defense. So if I had to put them in order, I'd probably say Tennessee, Green Bay, and then Seattle coming in third. If all the teams, which one would go undefeated? Seattle to me is the least.
Especially since the Vikings almost scared the bejesus out of Seattle. Huh?
Listen, my friend, he's listening to this because he's a Seahawks fan, and I told him, bro, any team that knows how to run the ball are going to beat y'all. They got lucky with the Vikings. They just been disappointed this entire year, but they ran it for almost 40 times and they dominated the game like that. So going against a good team with them running the ball, it's just a good game to watch. So I just want to see how they're going to handle that.
Man, hey, that dude's a beast. Mm-hmm. I mean, he is a damn beast. If you try to manhandle him, he's going to take it 9 times out of 10. The only way you can get that dude down is by going low on him.
Yeah, which is tough to do that too. It's tough to do that to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely, it is. But with Josh Norman, he went up right on him, and when he went up like this, all this area is exposed. And
I don't know what he was doing. But I will say this.
Hey, I tell you what he was doing. He was airborne. That's what he was doing. He was airborne. He had the wings out flying.
Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams are not Josh Norman, or they will go down there and play with him. But I don't do that. Yeah, I just want to see. I just want to see that, man. I do.
Oh, hey, that's a tall breakfast to take down.
Yeah. The Packers, they go against the Steelers in 2 weeks, and the Steelers have one of the best run defenses. So it's going to be nice to see, the Titans versus Steelers. It's going to see a true test of their running and stopping. How good can that pass game be? And I think it could be good. You have the tight end, like I said. You have the 2 receivers, good O-line, a good quarterback. This team is underrated, and I can't wait till they start flying like a little butterfly.
Yeah.
So next topic, which is the last topic before we give our final thoughts. In the NFL, which team is the most delusional, has the most delusional or fan base.
Woo!
And I'm gonna give this one to Jay first because he's a big Dallas Cowboys fan. I want to see what his thoughts are.
Philadelphia Eagles. No, hey, honestly, I think it's a toss-up. I think Philadelphia, they got some diehard, but Philadelphia got some nasty little fans up there.
Oh yeah,
Fans in Philly, hey, they're nasty, man.
Yes,
so that's why. But I think they're nasty and delusional.
Yes,
I'm not a hypocrite either. Now I know my Dallas Cowboys fans. You know, we're
oh my
we're
god,
a little delusional too, man. We think we're always going to win it, and right now we ain't won nothing in I don't know how long. So. I think honestly, I think it's a tie between the Eagles and the Cowboys, and I think matter of fact, hell, the whole NFC East is delusional. Let's just do it a division. Not a team. The whole division is delusional.
That's true.
I'm gonna go second on this. Here's why. On the very first episode, a throwback to the very first episode, I said that. When the question was asked, which team has the worst fans in the NFL? And I said it was the Dallas Cowboys.
Of course you would.
I am changing my pick on that. I am changing that to all the fans out there that would burn their city after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm not disappointed.
I don't understand what you mean worst fans, though. I don't understand what worst fans mean. And I was out there.
I think Nate just fired some shots.
Yeah, I don't know. I was out there celebrating like crazy. I was at the parade and everything. I'm not supposed to get hyped when my team wins. Why don't we partying?
I think Nate says you can get hyped. You just can't become a pyro.
Yeah.
It's one thing to celebrate, but it's another thing to go
burning their entire city down.
LA's been burning.
Do you know how many cities do that when their team wins a championship? They break light posts. That's every single city, Nate. That's every single city. When they win a championship, every goes down to the major area and goes crazy.
But LA, I think, is still the worst, though.
Exactly. But Kansas City isn't one of the major cities, though. I'm talking about major cities. When they win championships, they go crazy. It's the truth.
God forbid if the Cleveland Browns ever win a championship. Can you imagine what that city would do?
Oh, no.
Every podunk would come
I'm also talking about those Philadelphia Eagles fans that throw batteries back when they used to do that. So those are – I'm not saying all Philadelphia Eagles fans are that
But the
crazy,
question was delusional. You saying
the ones
worse.
that do that. I know, but I'm clarifying what I mean. The most delusional fans in the NFL, I'm still going with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Or the fans that think that their football team's going 14-2.
Okay. I don't understand, so I'm just going to take over.
Anyway, Chris.
So we're crazy. First of all, here's my list. I have the Eagles on there. We're delusional. We crazy, but we're passionate. Okay. We will love you. We will love you, defend you. But when you get to a certain point where we can't defend you, they're going to hate you. That's why Philly is one of the toughest markets to be in. If you play good, we will love you. We will embrace you like no other. AI, you see him right there. He's a legend, always going to be loved and embraced in Philly. Some other guys that didn't play in Philly, like Anam Diasamoah, who came in and was terrible, not going to get no love. Not going to get no love. If you play good, we're going to love you, okay? Eagles, our fans, most of them are delusional. A lot of them cry when we draft Jalen Hurts. Now they want him to start. It don't make no sense. A lot of Eagles fans have no knowledge when it comes to football. And I love all my Eagles fans because how passionate we are. But sometimes they say some crazy things. The Dallas Cowboys, they say a lot of crazy things. But that's because how passionate they are for their team. The most delusional, for us too, we're so delusional because the passion we have for their team. Now, a third team I'm going to throw out here that probably is a curveball is the New Orleans Saints. Bro, their fans are some of the most delusional, factual fans of all time, bro. They just every year they say they're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then cannot beat the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. They like, I don't understand. They lose to the Rams. They lose. And they always have this great team. Whenever they lose a game in a regular season, they're quiet. You won't hear nothing from them. Then they just barely beat the Chargers, and now they're talking crazy like they won a Super Bowl. So I think The Eagles and Cowboys, we're definitely probably top 2 when you come to delusional fans, but we're so delusional because we're so passionate. I don't think you'll find another fan base that's probably as passionate as Philly and as Dallas. And honestly, the whole NFC East, even though the Washington football team is trash and the New York Giants are trash.
You can say that again.
But I think it's the Eagles, the Saints, and the Cowboys to me are the top 3 delusional fans.
Lewis?
Am I the only thinking that the Patriots are delusional?
No, they're not delusional at all. They win. I can't call them delusional when they win. I'm sorry. When they win, I can't argue with them. They win the Super Bowls.
They might be delusional thinking Stidham could take them to the promised land.
Yes.
I will agree on that. They were this year. They were delusional.
Okay, yeah.
But
Giants delusional.
Years,
the Jets are really going off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe, I was hoping but I think I'll be delusional this year too. I mean, they were looking to be so good at the beginning of the year, but as the seasons went on, the 49ers are just tanking.
They got a lot of injury problems over there. We got way too many injury problems over there. I don't see 49ers fans as being too delusional because they're another great franchise, but basically the whole NFC East can obviously just take it over.
Okay.
Normally, I would agree with Chris on this one, but about the 49ers. But after seeing what happened against Miami, Jimmy Garoppolo getting benched after the first half was over. Yep. Oh man, I think
if it's delusional because of that
some
one
of the
game?
49ers fans might be.
Yeah.
More because of that one half. That was a bad first half.
Horrendous.
Okay. So I'm going to give everyone, I'm going to go counterclockwise on Lewis and Jay and Chris.
All right.
Give their final thoughts, and I'm going to close this out.
All right.
What are your final thoughts before we close?
Well, I just want to give an update for a second. It's now 8-6 Braves. The Dodgers just scored a 2-run homer. So it's not over yet, guys.
It's over. They are literally 1 out away.
Still,
Lewis, I'm going to send you a card in the mail express. It's going to say Dodgers down 0-2.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. It was a very interesting show, and hopefully we'll talk again. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. I appreciate that. Have you on? It was good talking with you, and we would love to have you back on so we could pick on New York some more because we love New York.
Yes, we do.
Hey, listen, NFC East, man. There's no love here. I barely can tolerate Chris Brown up there with the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey, no, man. Hey, listen. I think it's been a good show. I think we talked about a lot of cool stuff. I think there's a lot of great things. I'm just glad to have sports back. Honestly, I really don't care what happens in sports. I'm just glad we can actually watch sports because I got tired of going to the local pub and watching cornhole. Ain't nobody want to do no damn cornhole, bowling, golf. God, dare I say tennis? I'm just glad American sports are back so I can have a good time drinking a beer, talking with the wife, watching some good sports with the guys.
You want to talk with a wife? Okay. Good night,
I got a wife, Lewis. Anything wrong with that?
I got a girlfriend.
My wife knows more about sports than you do, Lewis. Shut your mouth.
Oh, boy.
Shots fired. Pew, pew.
Chris?
Yeah, I think this show, I'm sad that me and Jay didn't get a chance to argue because, it's just, at least we bring facts, I'm just sending shots at Freddie because he hasn't been here and I miss my guy but he doesn't give no facts. But point being, great show. Yes, I am glad that sports is back, but I will say this. I do care because I want my freaking teams to start winning. But in all, I'm glad all sports is back. I miss watching football. I miss watching basketball. I even tuned into baseball more. Tuned in all sports because I missed them all. It was so sad and boring without sports. I was tired of playing video games. I want to see the real thing. Tired of watching YouTube videos. I wanted to see the real thing. Now I've seen the Lakers.
Hey, there's only so much you can do, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I've seen the Lakers win. That's the NBA championship. Can't wait to see the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna say too much about that. We'll wait and see.
What you got there, Big Nate?
All right. So my final thoughts is, we all didn't bring up one particular team about them being delusional fan base, and that is the Chargers. Because are there really Chargers fans out there?
No.
And
Sadly.
two, later today, and very, very shortly actually, Ace, Christopher Mabry, and I will be giving a post-game show to the Bills and the Titans. Stay tuned a little bit for that. And this has been a recap of All Sports, All Plays Real Talk with Nate the Great, Chris Brown, Jay McLovin, and Lewis joining in. So stay tuned, everybody, for future episodes, especially later today. Goodbye.
See you on Thursday.
Now.
See you on Thursday.
Yo, Nate. Can you hear me, Nate?
Yeah, it's just